And I'm here in Ouarzazate, Morocco after the 2015 Marathon des Sables with ladies champion Elisabet Barnes. Congratulations!
Thank you.
How are you doing today? How are you feeling?
I feel remarkably good today actually. My legs are fine, my feet are fine. A little bit tired and quite overwhelmed.
Yeah, there might be a couple MDS runners who watch this video and think, I'm a little bit jealous. My body is fine, my feet are fine, while they're hobbling around on blistered feet. Feeling fairly lucky today.
Yeah, and I guess that's the advantage of spending less time out on the course. I think you hold together a bit better.
Yeah, your body stays in one piece the less hours that you have to be on your feet, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just sort of going to call it how it is. I think after Stage 1, Stage 2, Stage 3, a lot of people were looking at the women's results of the race this year thinking, who is this Elisabet Barnes girl? Or woman, I should say. So tell us about yourself. Tell us about your background with running.
So I've been running for a long time. I ran my first marathon back in 2001, 2002.
Okay.
And before then, sort of shorter distances. And I really got hooked on the marathon, something I really enjoyed. So I ran a few more and was in and out of running for a few years. I worked quite a lot for a few years and I didn't really do much running, and then I picked it up again because I got a bit tired of being unfit. And ran my first ultra marathon in 2011.
2011.
Yeah.
And which one was that?
That was a 50k in Sweden outside of Stockholm. It's called Leading a Travel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And how did your first ultra, how did that go for you? I mean, you're in phenomenal shape and you had a phenomenal run, but my understanding is that your sort of origins with ultra running weren't quite as fast?
Yeah, I mean that race went well because I was in good marathon shape that year, and I think I finished fourth woman in that race.
Okay.
So it was a good experience. Yeah, it was a good first experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this Marathon des Sables was actually your second race. You were here in 2012, so it sounds like you came, had a pretty great experience, and decided to come back and do it again. So talk about your first run here at MDS in 2012.
Yeah, so 2012 I came here and I wanted to complete the race. I wanted to have a good experience. My backpack was incredibly heavy. It was like 12 kilos on the start line without water. I had everything you could possibly need just in case.
You were the one who was trying to help out tent mates who had problems. Just in case I have this, just in case I have this.
Yeah, there's plenty of spare clothing and a few rolls of tape, loads of food, and yeah. But it was an amazing experience. I really enjoyed it. I had a fantastic race, and I finished 169th on 15th woman, which I was very happy with. It was more than I hoped for then, and so a great experience. Yeah.
And it was good enough that you sort of set your sights on doing it again in the future.
Yeah.
Fast forward to 2015. In your preparations for this race, you had a couple pretty phenomenal runs at home in the UK, training races. Talk about those for a second.
Yeah, so I wanted to do better this year in the MDS. I wasn't quite sure how well I could do, but we have two ultramarathons in January that a lot of UK runners do. So one is the country to capital, 45 miles trail non-stop, and then there's 2 weeks later there's a 2-day 66-mile race also on trails.
What's that one called?
It's called the Pilgrims.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Challenge. It's run by Extreme Energies, a really great company to do a series of 8 races in the UK. And I set the women's course record for both of those runs. So I knew I was in good shape. And I mean, this was in January, so there was still a couple of months to go.
Away.
So I had a good month of training in February, and then in March I was really too busy to do very much, but I did do a total of 12 hours in the heat chamber,
Okay.
which I think was absolutely key to being successful this year. And I did train, but I really had quite a lot of taper, I'd say.
Yeah, you said you co-own a business in the UK called My Race Kit, which provides a lot of kit for MDS runners. So March, before the race, was quite insane for you, helping other people get ready for their races.
Yeah. So it was a very busy time, and it's run by my husband day to day, but I help out where I can. So I have another job as well, but it was incredibly busy, and the amount of people who leave their kits to the last minute, you won't believe it. I mean, I actually delivered backpacks to Gatwick on the day we flew out.
People sort your kits.
But I also think it's normal to have last minute panics about kit. I mean, I changed my shoes 2 days before I was flying out and had to go and get new Velcro stitched on, like that. So sort of normal, but yeah. It was quite stressful.
And another thing that you did have sorted for this year was your kit. It was not a 12-kilo pack. It was a quite pared down, ready to race pack.
Yeah. So I obviously I tried to put the training in, and then I looked at my pack and sort of decided to go for just a minimal. So I think I had about 7 kilos because I had a lot of food. For me, I think recovery is incredibly important in this race. I think you need to eat well and sleep well, and I eat a lot anyway. So I had a lot of food. I had a sleeping mat. I had a pillow. I had a very light sleeping bag, and I got away with it because we had a warm year. So I was quite lucky in that respect.
Yeah. So I want to talk about now how the race played out for you.
Yeah.
You went into the race probably expecting to do decently, but perhaps not expecting to come out at the front. So let's talk about the first couple days where you were running at the front, or you were running in proximity to a few other women, but at the end of the stages you ended up in the lead, kind of looking around thinking, where are the other girls?
Yeah.
How did the first couple of stages go for you?
Yeah, so day one was day one I really enjoyed. It was a really nice run. I set off at the pace that I felt for me was comfortable, and I could relate that back to the heat chamber where I had been running with a backpack, and I knew that it was a pace I could sustain, had a good run all the way through and across the line, and I got a camera and a microphone stuck up my face, and had to say a few things about the race, but no one told me that I was actually first woman, and I didn't realise until a few minutes later. I was like, oh, okay. So then I had my bag checked, and Lisa Howard on the runs, they finished not too long after me, so we were all there having a little chat after we finished day one. But I just thought I must have gone out too quickly, So these experienced ladies, they know what they're doing.
But then day two came around, and the finish line arrived, and again you looked around, and you had won.
Yeah, so day two was quite hard. We had some climbs, and I mean, I'm okay with climbs, but I'm better on the flats.
Okay.
So Liza actually caught me up on the last climb.
Okay.
And then I think so she was ahead of me for a while, but I was probably a little bit stronger in the dunes. So we finished fairly close. But I sprinted to the finish.
Another stage win.
Another stage win. So I knew that day two would be hard. I didn't expect to win day two, so it was it was a nice surprise. I sort of, when I ran day one, I didn't really think about day two. And, when I ran day two, I didn't really think about day three. I just tried to focus on, the task at hand for that particular day. So yeah, it was 2 good days, but I think day two was harder than day one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then day three was, the first part of it was quite runnable, and then the second part got real hot and real sandy with a nice little climb at the end. So,
Yeah.
but it was also, you know, it was a race, a stage that was easy to start, hard to finish, but it was also just ahead of a really long stage. So talk about how stage 3 went for you.
Yeah, again, for stage 3, maybe I should have, I didn't actually think about the fact that there was a stage 4. I relied on all the food I had and, you know, my ability to recover. I set out comfortably. I really enjoyed the first half. It was a really good running. The last third was very hard. It got really hot. I was running with somebody. I say running. We weren't really running. Yeah, but he had his watch and he said, "Oh, it's 51 degrees Celsius." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
That's why it's so hard right now.
Yeah, that explains it. And I was worried about running out of water. I drink quite a lot, but I think I had just enough to make it through. And day 3, I would say, was definitely like the hardest out of the first 3 days. But again, I was quite surprised to still be in the lead. And I sort of thought on day 3, well, everyone else is just saving it now for the long day, and I'm going to pay for it tomorrow.
Yeah, the long stage, no matter where you are in the competition, whether you're at the front, the middle, the pack, or the back, the long stage is the crux day.
Yeah.
And when you're in a competitive mindset, it becomes even more so the crux day. That little mistakes on the first couple days become exponentially problematic on the long stage, or a problem that you encounter midway through the long stage becomes a big problem by the end.
Yeah.
You're looking at your splits from that day, they were incredibly smooth, checkpoint to checkpoint to checkpoint, and you didn't really taper off your pace by as much as many of the other women did. Did you feel as smooth as your splits looked during the long stage?
Let's see. So I took absolutely nothing for granted. I know that the long stage can change everything, and you know, I have huge respect for the race as a whole, but for that stage. And although at home, you know, I really enjoyed distances of sort of around 90, 100k. I think I'm quite strong in them, but I knew it would be completely different out here. I had decided that I had to run my own race no matter what, like not get carried away. If anyone would walk quicker, I would just let them go. And so that's what I did. So I started out, I saw that Elisabet Barnes went up a little bit quicker, and I thought it's not the pace that I'm comfortable at starting out with now. So I let them go, and I fell into a group of maybe 4 or 5 runners, and we ran together, and they were aiming for about 12 hours, and I thought, yeah, maybe that's realistic, maybe it's a bit too quick, but I feel comfortable at this pace. And then from that group, another UK runner, Ed Carey, we ended up running together the whole way.
Okay.
So we sort of pulled each other along, and where we could run, we tried to keep a consistent pace, and where we had to walk, we tried to walk it, you know, as quickly as we could. I just kept eating and kept drinking, little and often, kept taking the salt tablets, just kept monitoring myself to see if I was okay, and I think I was lucky to not get into any problems.
So no problems?
No.
Wonderful.
But I was totally spent at the finish line. Yeah. I was sick twice, not in front of the camera.
You waited until you were in the dark by yourself.
But no, we did manage to keep a fairly even pace throughout, and I was quite surprised how well we did actually. Yeah,
awesome.
Very pleased.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then stage 5, the marathon day, had to have been at that disappointed joyride for you. You were hours ahead of anybody in the women's field. You would have had to basically not finish or walk the stage to not end up as the women's winner.
Yeah, so it was really nice to know that, to have that, have that time in the bag, and but still, it's still a marathon to go, and it's distance that you have to respect, and so I just wanted to have a safe run and not do anything stupid, not blow up, not break a leg or anything. So I thought I felt good, but then in the morning I had a sore throat and a bit of a rumpy stomach. So when I actually started running, I felt like I was suffering. So I just thought I'm just going to take it easy. I struggled eating and drinking, so I just did what I could. But maybe it helped because it meant that I started a bit slower than maybe I would have done otherwise. And I felt better the second half and the first half.
That's great.
Except that the finish never actually came. They were like
it was actually like it was a hidden finish line. We couldn't see the finish line until we were about, I don't know, 300 or 400 meters from it.
I was like, it must be beyond that hill, and I was like, there's another hill.
There's another hill and there's no finish line.
And then like, there's another hill. And then finally it was there, and it was the most amazing feeling. Like, I really didn't expect it at all, and it was fantastic. I still have to pinch myself.
yeah. A couple of days later, has it set in that? I mean, you had this journey across the Sahara, but it was also a phenomenally fast journey. Is that starting to sink in?
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah,
maybe a little bit. I just think it's absolutely amazing, and I mean, other people believed in me. I guess I didn't really, but.
Are you ready to believe in yourself now?
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, congratulations to you. I'm sure the question that you're getting all day today, are you going to do this again? Will you be back?
Well, I think I will be back next year. But I guess I have to set myself a new target.
And do you have other races on your horizon for 2015?
So in 2 weeks I'm doing the London Marathon.
Okay.
So I want to do a sub 3 hour marathon.
Okay.
So I'm hoping I can do that. We'll see what this race has done to the body.
See if your legs bounce back.
And then end of May I'm doing a race in the UK called the Grand Union Canal Race.
Okay.
It's 145 miles non-stop from Birmingham to London. It's completely flat, it's along the Grand Union Canal. I did it last year, so I know what I'm letting myself in for, but just hoping to do it a little bit faster, suffer a bit less.
Well, congratulations again, and we'll look forward to seeing you down the trail.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot.